What's good, YouTube? Cool Vision Gaming back. Fizzleman 1 here signing in. It's only me since we didn't make the playoffs, and it's on my account. I like to cover these stuff. This is stuff that I like to see. Ronnie, which is my girl 100 rate, she like to take part in this. But we're here for the second game of the playoffs. We have the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams in our division. Really, they actually going at it. Something I just did, I forgot to do. I just went and they had a little notification down below. I actually clicked into that. I should have showed it and let y'all see the news, but we'll just go scroll through. We'll just see before we get into this game. Jared Goff is back. As you see this week, man, when we was playing against them, they kind of was in the lead. We came back in our week 17 game, did our thing, but they still made the playoffs, as y'all know. But we had to make sure the Arizona Cardinals lose. They didn't lose. They took a dub. But Jared Goff is back. Let's see what goes down. But as you know, our conference, our division, NFC, closing it out for Saturday, 8 o'clock. Around that time, game about to go down. I'm an outside commentary. As you know, I'm doing this right now. We're not in no locker room. We're just going through this. Yeah, just showing y'all the how these teams got there. Y'all all know the story. We was in this story. 49ers. That's our team. It's wonder for us side story if they'll sign us back, or will we, get picked up on different teams and play for different teams, not the same team no more like we did for Florida Tech. But like I'm saying, that's the storyline. It's all in the team's hands. We're not controlling nothing. So that's how this goes, and pretty much realistic. That's how I want it to be. That's how it's gonna be. Don't care what nobody say. This is the real thing, real trades. Signings different though. People they sign themselves, but the trades is all real based on who's really trades. If it's a trade within a team of mine, yeah. But without further ado, let's just get this under the way. This is a big game. Both teams got a real stepping stone they want to go accomplish. So let's see if they reach it, see who's gonna reach it, see how hard fought they're gonna be, and let's see who go. 10-6 LA Rams going against 9-7 Arizona Cardinals.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who won a Heisman Trophy playing on this field back in 2002 from USC, Carson Palmer.
I remember I was doing a lot of college football at the time, and the first time I met Carson Palmer, I promise you, I thought he was a tight end, not a quarterback.
Big boy.
Oh, he's a big frame guy. But what a season he had there, and then able to carry it over as a first-round pick of the Cincinnati Bengals.
And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back, right around the 26. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big gain. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
I got a kick out of talking last year with Aaron Donald about how when he came out of college, many NFL teams thought he might be undersized to play defensive tackle. Instead, he's been a perennial all-pro, Pro Bowl player since day one, and offenses are still searching for ways to block him and keep him from disrupting their offense.
On third down, Palmer. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught at the 25. It's a big play on third down for the Cardinals. 52 yards.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. He's to the 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. This is going the other way. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 40, past the 20, 10, 5, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
A tall, angular quarterback who always looks like he could use some additional pounds. He has a great toughness about him. Started 37 straight games in college, going back to his first start as a true freshman.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
3rd and long. It's gone. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Robert Kimdichie. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. The Pro Bowler Patrick Peterson back deep for Arizona. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that, but your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
And his throw here is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Palmer. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Deep for the Rams, Tavon Austin. Here's Austin. He won't go down. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. They come in as the 3 seed, and this will very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this one. But while they wanted one of those top 2 spots, they're still in a pretty good position.
They are, and let's face it, any team that gets into the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, they're in a good position because they're doing what the rest of the league wants. A lot of people are sitting at home watching them. But you made a good point. Everyone is vying for one of the top 2 spots. You get an opening, you get a week off. Don't have to play that opening week, and then you get a chance to collect yourself and see how everything else falls. But all in all, number 3 spot, they'll take it and run with it.
Yeah, maybe they get a win here and get some momentum. Here's Goff now on 2nd down, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On the run, Dunbar. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And we introduce you to these starters now, and Tavon Austin, a man who really doesn't need any introduction anymore in this league.
He did it all when he's at the University of West Virginia. Played wide receiver, slot, returned kicks, even lined up at tailback and ran for over 300 yards. All of those talents will be on display in this game.
On second down, here's Goff. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And here is the Cardinal defense.
Spotlight, please, and a little traveling music for Dayon Buchanan, because he came into the league as a safety, a first-round pick of the Arizona Cardinals. Now he might as well just be known as an inside linebacker, even though he's undersized. Has a great ability to slip blockers and make big-time tackles.
He's been a West Coast guy through and through, born in the Bay Area, went to Washington State, now in Arizona. Throwing on third, Goff. He's going to find his man. That's Tavon Austin. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Goff to Austin that time for an LA first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Back to the ground game here. Gurley looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Goff hitting Woods for a Rams first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Ball start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Goff now to throw. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Rams on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
So on 4th down, Goff will yield to Greg Zuerlein for the field goal try. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On the ground, this is Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
So let me make sure I have this right. He's already found the end zone once, and now he's ripped off a big chunk of yardage here on this one. His confidence is awfully high. So now I've got to put myself in the shoes of the defensive coordinator. Do I go ahead and sell out to try and stop him and force him to do something different? Or do I risk him having a big monster day against my defense?
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On second down, Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Palmer gives to Johnson. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. So 1 quarter in the books here the opening weekend of the NFC playoffs. It's the Cardinals off to the early lead. We're back to Southern California right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in position. They'll run it now out of the gun. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now Palmer to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now on 4th down, Bruce Arians will send out his field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. 3
points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going. And really, the offensive line not helping him much. To throw on second down is gone. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Austin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When I watched Jared Goff on tape at Cal, I saw a guy who wasn't just a dart thrower. You know, a lot of people said, he's perfect for the West Coast offense. I always thought he could do a little bit more, and that was the reason why. He can push it downfield. He has a good, strong arm.
On first down, it's Gurley. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground at the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play. He was able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now it's gone. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Johnny Hacker now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. But the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
On second down, Palmer. And Gresham has it left side. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 3rd and 1, it's Palmer. And he's got Gresham. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
First down carry here for Johnson. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Here's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Matt Wild now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Another carry now for Gurley. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally, you run to set up the pass. Here, it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game, probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 20. Touchdown, LA. Sammy Watkins, 73 yards. And the Rams strike quickly here for 6 points. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
And that one gives them a 3-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Jaron Brown, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Fitzgerald. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Palmer gives to Johnson on the draw. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Now Palmer to throw on second down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Palmer gets him set. 3rd and long for the Cardinals after the sack. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Matt Wild now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, it's gone. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. The 20. Touchdown, L.A. Tavon Austin, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Rams strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, a 22. Throwing is Palmer. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 24 yards. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. From the red zone now, here's Palmer on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again here, Palmer. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4. They tried to fade there to the back corner, and Charles, you know very well that can be hard to stay in bounds on that route.
So difficult.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And now we move to spotlight Tavon Austin. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing. Because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, we get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there.